Hey everyone, and welcome back to Remember This Tech. Today's episode we're going to be doing a mild upgrade on the HP Z400 workstation. Did a review on this a while back to see if it could game. If you haven't seen that, check it out in the link above. Now, today we're going to do two, maybe three upgrades. One, we're going to replace the 3550 CPU, the quad-core 8-thread CPU, with a X5680 CPU, which is a 130 watt 6-core 12-thread CPU. Should just be a drop-in for this. Now what that's going to give us is a base running frequency of 3.3 gigahertz with turbo up to 3.6 gigahertz, plus it's a 6-core CPU with 12 threads. Combined, that this CPU should also support faster DDR3 RAM at 1333 megahertz versus the 1060 megahertz that it's already running at from the old one. It depends on whether we can get it to run at that speed or not. We'll have to check the DIMMs and make sure that they are running in triple channel mode, and that may take a bunch of configuring. We'll see. The third upgrade we're going to do, and this one's the craziest one, is we're going to put in a RTX 4060 8 gig card in the system. That's a little bit overkill. I figured, that RX 580 we had in here is pretty much getting stressed out and it couldn't go much further on what we had, so I'll eliminate some more bottlenecks at 1080p and put that in there, as long as the power supply holds. And I went ahead and ran some benchmarks on the system here as it stands. I ran Geekbench 6, so we have those stats for comparison from old and new. I also ran Cinebench R23, and I also put another game in there and ran Red Dead Redemption 2 to see how that fared on this old system prior to upgrading. So we'll have more contrast and comparison between the two systems. I only paid $11 for this CPU for an upgrade. So without further ado, let's get right into it, upgrading it, see if it takes the CPU, and see if it smokes the power supply with the 4060 in there. Will this be an upgrade, or will this be an epic waste of time for this old Z400 workstation? Well, you're just gonna have to watch and see. Come on, let's get going. CPU's in. Now it's time to put in the MSI GeForce RTX 4060 8 gig card. Hopefully it doesn't pull too much power and we can get the system up and running and test it. Let's go! System's booting. Getting the BIOS. Detected the chip, did it? Oh look. Detects the CPU, 5680, stock 3.3 gigahertz, 130 watts. Look, L1 384 kilobytes, L2 1500 kilobytes, or 1.5 meg, and 12 meg L3. Yes. Problem is it didn't detect the RAM at 1333, so it probably could have a 4 gig DIMM that can't do it, because this CPU is supposed to be able to run that memory at that speed. Or maybe I misconfigured some of the DIMM banks, don't know. Temp looks good, using the same fan, so I'm glad. And I'm running the same power supply with the 4060 in there, so fingers crossed.
Have mercy on me! No, please!
That was just beyond belief. Miss my forge. Can't slow down. I thought I had been a good teacher to you. Clearly not.
You're testing my patience.
Have to keep pushing.
Now beautiful like roses.
I wasn't sure about you at first.
Master Halcyon's home. By Sylvanus' mercy.
So what can I say? My final thoughts. That CPU upgrade was huge. Well, the extra 2 cores, 4 threads really helped and everything. To be honest with you, 4060 is kind of overkill for the system, but it basically allowed me to play 1440p on some games. Red Dead Redemption 2 is an older game, so I mean I had no doubts that it wouldn't play it at 1080p, but hey, 1440? That's another story. I think that Baldur's Gate 3 needs a high resolution setting. I had a lot of the settings set in medium in the game. I think it needs to be at least at high so that it can get a better look to it. I have it running on my main editing rig and system on ultra and high, and it looks so much better. I'm not saying you run out and get this CPU to upgrade your Z400 system and then drop in a 4060. No, that'd be kind of foolish. But if you had a system in mind later on you were going to upgrade to, or you just needed something to get by and you can only buy pieces at a time, hey, this $11 CPU would give you a lot more life for that system. If you wanted to start off with a video card and then save up and get a whole new platform later, you know, AMD or Intel or whatever, then you could probably do that. It's not going to be able to run the latest titles, but if these types of games, Baldur's Gate or Red Dead Redemption 2 are your thing, then you can get by with just using this old system. Normally people wouldn't test these older systems like this, but I will. I like to do that because you never know what can and can't work together and what combination is going to give you the acceptable frame rates so you can actually play your game or do some rendering or whatever you're up to. And if I had stuck with the RX 580 and just kept that upgrade for the $11 CPU, it would have been $111, $112 with taxes out the door. Now, in reality, you might not go out and buy this system, but hey, it was fun testing this. Fun seeing what it can do. Fun pairing up a mismatched GPU with the CPUs in this level. I hope you enjoyed this video like I had making it, and thanks for watching. Remember this tech.